Tracy Talks to You. This is my show that is unscripted, unprepared, but not uninformed. It's here to help you with marriage, family, having a fun life, and making your life better. So today, I'm going to teach you how to make a tree house, because I went on YouTube and I looked everywhere for how to build a tree house. And I saw a few tree houses, but nobody really told me exactly how to build it and how to make it cool. So I'm going to do that for you today. So let's go. This is our tree house. Cool, right? It's way better than I ever imagined it could be. My son had a 10th birthday, so we decided to send him away for the weekend to his grandparents' house, and we were going to build a tree house while he was out of town for the weekend. And when he came back for his birthday, we blindfolded him and said, surprise! But unfortunately, it wasn't totally done at the time, so he helped us complete it. So, this is how you build a tree house. Basically, come here, I'll show you. You start out with these two boards. See this board? And this board right here. Now, ideally, I wish I would have picked a board that was, I think it's by 6. I wish I would have done by 12, 2 by 12, instead of by 6, because there's so much weight up on it. It makes me a little nervous. So I picked this tree because there's two sides to it. It's one tree, but it splits. So that means there's more places where I can put that board into the tree. Now what you can do is you can get two different trees that are close together, or you can do one tree, depending how big you want your tree house. So what I did is, see these things? These are spikes right here that we had to crank into the tree. Now those spikes, man, I'm telling you, they're like a foot long. They're serious. They're huge. And we got them at Home Depot. And we put 2 here, 2 there, and on the other side of the tree we have 2 and 2. So that means we have 8 spikes going almost all the way through the tree that are really hold these boards on. So these boards are not going anywhere. The reason why I have a support here is the problem was I was trying to put those spikes in and the board was dropping and I had to hold the board and try to get the spikes in. It was really hard. So first what I did is I put in an L bracket here, and I had an L bracket over there, or a nail, to hold the board up, and then I could put the spikes in, okay? And you have to pre-drill holes, so you need a drill, a good drill. I pre-drilled holes into the tree to kind of get it going, hammered the spike in some, and then I started to crank it in. Okay, now once you have those 2 spikes, the next thing is the frame, the bottom of this, okay? So what we did is we made what's kind of like an E, okay? This being the top of the E, this being the back of the E, that being the foot of the E, and then instead of having one going through the middle, we did 3. One there through the two trees, and then one over there. So it was like an E with 3 prongs in the middle. Now, we didn't have a board on the other end because we had to get it up there on top of these 2 boards I just hammered into the tree. So we made the E on the ground here. And we made sure our house was high enough to be fun and exciting, but not too high where someone could really get hurt or it would be impossible to build. Because if you build something too high, you have to like use ropes to get everything up there, and it's just too hard. So we wanted something we could reach almost, so we could build it, you know. So we got the E, and we put the E up, and we balanced it on those 2 boards, shooting 1 through the middle, 2 on either side, and then we pushed it up. And I had my husband's, on the other side, and we pushed it to where it was balancing on top of these 2 boards. Okay? Now once we had the E up, we kind of had the frame up there, so that was cool. Then once it was already up there, we got this board here to close up the E, and we hammered nails into all those prongs of the E sticking out. So then we had a base. You need a saw, by the way. Not a saw, but like a circular saw. And we cut some boards, and so we kind of did that just to make it more secure. And we made sure everything was nailed together. So we had our beams, we had the frame, and then you're ready to lay the floor. That's the cool part. We measured the floor beams, okay? And we, one by one, put them up there, and then we drilled them down into the E, as well as into these little, I think that's why we put in these little extra ones, so that we'd have something to drill the floor into. And so we nailed the floor down in, one by one, all the way across, and cut some small pieces for the middle. So then we had our tree house, great, but we knew it wasn't super secure unless we had some support beams. Now for my tree house, I didn't want to do those big posts that come to the ground, because then it was sort of, I just wanted it to be sort of suspended in the tree. So what we did is we got some wood, cut it at a slant, okay, and we screwed it into the tree here. And then there's these brackets. I don't know if you can see the brackets because they're kind of painted, but you go to Home Depot and you buy these brackets to where it hooked on the bottom of there, drilled it in, and then it drilled into the side of the wood, okay? So you put those brackets on and drill that in, and that holds this beam nice and secure. So we did a few of those. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So we've one on every side of the tree to kind of just provide some extra support. Another thing we did, if you look here, actually we did this when it was on the ground. It was an E. We put these metal brackets, see the metal bracket in the corner? And we did that on all the corners of the frame so that the frame stays together nice and sturdy with that metal bracket. So every single corner of the E that we threw up on top has that metal thing to really secure it. Then we had an old ladder that someone was throwing out, and we got it and we cut it to size so that way there's an entryway. So let's go up in the treehouse and I'll show you what we did up top. Okay, so here's the ladder. I have to admit, when I first came up it, I was a little bit scared because I'm afraid of heights. So thank goodness my husband rescued me and really helped a lot with this project. Otherwise, I would have been a chicken. I never would have been able to finish it. Oh, here we are in our treehouse. Now, the railings are really important. And we wanted them to be safe because God forbid a kid leans on the railing, it breaks off, and they fall down to the ground. Sounds like somebody's running a chainsaw or something. Hopefully you can hear me. So we bought prefab railings at Home Depot. That means it already had the top, it already had the bottom, it already had the spindles, and it was just as expensive as buying all the pieces of wood and building it yourself. In fact, it was less expensive, saved us on time, saved us on it being really secure. So we hoisted up, each railing is about this long, the prefab ones, from here to here, and we put it up and we nailed it down into the floorboard all the way along. And then we also put in some, on every corner we put in these big boards that are screwed in really securely. And we made these on every corner, and then we screwed the railing into these boards, okay? So that's how we did the railing. And then over here, we just left a space for the ladder, but we put this up to kind of be a safety so no one backs up and falls out. So this is kind of a safety bar, though my mom did hit her head on it once, so watch out, Grandma, if you're climbing up in the treehouse. Another thing we had, which was super cool, it just broke a few days ago, was we had a swing up here. It was so great. It's like a hammock swing, and my kids would come up here and sit in the hammock swing and read books, and that was awesome. So we have to get another one of those. Now my next goal is to maybe do a second level up in this tree, but we'll have to save that for another show. If you want a tree house that has a roof and is like enclosed, check out Dangerous Book for Boys. It's a red book. They sell it every Barnes & Noble and are on Amazon.com. And it has instructions on how to build a tree house that has a roof and walls around it. This is our tree house. We love it. I did mine open air because I love to look up at the tree and see all the leaves and enjoy nature around us. Also, another thing you can do when you buy your wood is you can get pre-treated wood that's kind of green, and then that way it lasts longer. But if you stain the wood, you don't need to buy pre-treated, which is more expensive. So we just got normal wood and stained the whole thing a similar color to the tree so it would blend in with the nature of our yard. And that was good. But the main beams on the bottom that hold the whole structure up, we did pre-treated with those because we wanted it to be super strong. So anyway, I hope you build a tree house in your backyard that your kids can enjoy and have fun in. And when you have parties, you can put Christmas lights in the tree house and they can come up and it's tons of fun and have a good time. So enjoy your summer. This has been Tracy Talks to You. I would love it if you'd subscribe, and then I'll show you more cool, cheap, wonderful ideas for you and your family. Take care. Bye.